Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about Palworld and its upcoming changes they have to make because of Nintendo's patent lawsuit that they filed against them. They've had to do this once already before, which I think they'll be talking about it later in this tweet, but they have to do another change, more of a compromise right now as the lawsuit plays out in court. This is just the Palworld official Twitter, so it'll be linked down in the description if you'd like to check it out for yourself. It starts, regarding the lawsuit, changes to Palworld and the future. We would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation for the continued support of our fans over the past few months. We apologize for not being able to share as much information as we'd like, but we trust our fans understand how difficult it is to be fully transparent while litigation is ongoing. Yeah, I mean, honestly, one of the things about lawsuits like this is it's probably better not to say things publicly just in case. At least that's what I feel like should be the case when it comes to most lawsuits, is you don't talk about it a lot until it's either over or it's an update, and you should 100% have your lawyers look over any statements you're making when you're going under a lawsuit of any kind, because anything you can say could potentially be used in court generally. So yeah, especially if you're making it on a post like this where it's like talking to someone casually is very different than making a public statement online. So I completely understand. Just before we continue on into the tweet, I'd like to remind everyone, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Once I do, I'll be doing a Q&A video, so if you're interested in that, please subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you guys think about this whole update that they've had to do with the lawsuit happening with Nintendo. I've talked about it before, but I am very against Nintendo doing stuff like this, and pretty much any company doing stuff like this. I disagree with patenting game mechanics wholeheartedly. Currently, we remain involved in a prolonged legal proceedings regarding alleged patent infringement. We continue to dispute these claims and have assert the individuality of the patents in question. Invalidity. However, we have had to make certain compromises in order to avoid disruptions to the development and distribution of Palworld, which makes sense, because unfortunately, just because they are still fighting the lawsuit doesn't mean they can't, like, the patent infringement was technically filed, so they have to make compromising changes just to make sure, so they continue development of Palworld, because obviously the developers are not all involved in the lawsuit. It's probably just the CEO and like maybe some of the higher ups. So the devs that were still working on the game, probably they need to make these changes so they don't have to worry about it and they can just keep developing the game, because I mean, Palworld is in early access and they're still working towards 1.0. On November 30th, 2024, we released patch version 0.3.11 for Palworld. This patch removed the ability to summon pals by throwing pal spheres and instead changes it to a static summon next to the player. Several other game mechanics were also changed with this patch, as many have speculated these changes were indeed a result of the ongoing litigation. Everyone here at Pocket Pair was disappointed that this adjustment had to be made, and we fully understand that many players feel the same frustration. Unfortunately, as the alternative would have led an even greater irritation of the gameplay experiences for players, it was determined that this change was necessary. Yeah, they have to comply a little bit just because it's just the law. It'll make it easier for them to also have it in court saying that they were complying, but they still think that these patents are illegitimate, basically, which makes sense. Furthermore, we regret to inform our players that the implementation of patch version 0.5.5, we must yet make another compromise. From this patch onwards, gliding will be performed using a glider rather than with pals. Pals in the player's team will still provide passive buffs to gliding, but players will now need to have a glider in their inventory in order to glide. We understand that this will be disappointing for many, just as it is for us, but we hope our fans understand that these changes are necessary in order to prevent further disruptions to the development of Palworld. Which makes sense. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know that you could use some pals as gliders. I've gone pretty deep into the game, but I mean, the game takes a long time to level everything up, and I haven't gone past like level 20 or something like that, or maybe it was like 25. So I still got a long way to go when it comes to this game, and it sucks that you could have used pals as gliders instead of the actual glider. I mean, luckily the glider is a slot, isn't it? I don't think does it take an inventory slot? I thought it had its own individual slot. That's what I thought, but maybe I'm wrong. So, I mean, overall, it doesn't change a lot to the game. but it still sucks that they have to make these types of changes because it takes time to develop stuff like this. It always looks weird. Like, for instance, summoning pals look weird because they just appear beside you now. You don't throw the ball at all. It's just weird. I understand why they did that change, but it is just really weird. We want to extend our apologies to our fans for the discomfort and concern this ongoing litigation has caused. We remain committed to developing Palworld and delivering exciting new content to our fans. On behalf of everyone at Pocket Bear and Team Palworld, thank you again for continued support. Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem with this is that it really is the fact that they're fighting Nintendo over this, and making these changes will probably help their case. And going through this legal process is going to take a long time. Like, it's not going to be something that could be finished in like a day or like a couple months, you know? Like, this legal case is probably going to be taking years. So making compromises and concessions to certain things so they can continue developing the game, because their main source of revenue is selling Palworld still. So they still need to sell copies. They still need to update the game while this legal stuff is going on, because they still need to make money, because they're going to need a lot of money in order to continue this legal battle and hopefully win over Nintendo when it comes to the legal side of things. Because pretty much everyone that I've seen or read or talked to thinks that these patents that Nintendo have that I've claimed are dumb and not going to happen in court, which is surprising because Nintendo is generally really careful when it comes to court battles. They generally only take court battles that they can take, which is why I think they don't necessarily think they're going to win, but they think they're not going to win the case, but they think they're going to win because they're just going to try to settle outside of court, because most likely Palworld, in their mind, or Pocket Pair, would have run out of money. But I think they're underestimating the will of Pocket Pair to fight this legal case, and they might have underestimated their pockets as well. Like, they could actually have a good amount of money. I mean, Palworld did very well, and it is still doing very well, and they are on Xbox Game Pass too, so I'm sure that helped as well with the whole money problems potentially. So it really is kind of like a war of attrition. Now, Nintendo will win if it lasts multiple years. Like, if this is going to go on for 5+ years, Pocket Pair doesn't have that kind of money. But I'm hoping that there could be a judge decision on this patent case within the next at least 1 to 2 years, hopefully. I'm hoping 1 to 2 years legal battle, because I think Pocket Pair can handle that. But if it goes longer than that, then I start really worrying about the finances for Pocket Pair, unless they can get some really big support of more sales for this game. Because obviously people love Palworld, and it's been a very successful game, and every time there's a big patch, it sells more copies. So hopefully there's another big update coming, like another new region. I don't think they're close to 1.0. I don't think so, but hopefully they are getting closer and closer to that, because if it hits 1.0 and they can sell even more copies, I think that'd be really good. It's also on, I think the PS5 version is being released soon, or is already out. It's coming soon. So that's another angle for them to make more money, because really that is the main problem I can see with Pocket Pair when it comes to this defense, because we've already seen their opening defense of them showing the games, all the different types of games that have the similar mechanics. So it's mostly just the problem of legal things like this take a lot of time, which means it takes a lot of money, because lawyers have to be there the whole time, and you have to pay the lawyers, obviously, and the legal fees and stuff like that. And you're not guaranteed to have the conclusion that you want. So there's going to be an appeals process, even if I'm sure there's going to be appeals process and stuff like that if Nintendo loses, and they're going to try, because why wouldn't they? So that's really the biggest problem I see with this thing. And it sucks that they have to update the game like this, but I mean, it makes sense. It totally makes sense, and I don't blame them for it. Luckily, the game isn't fundamentally changing overall. Like, small things here and there are changing, but fundamentally the game is still Palworld, so it's still Palworld. And hopefully we can get the full version of Palworld once this case is over and they win in hopefully a year. Hopefully. A year-long court battle against Nintendo with these patents, I think Pocket Pair can handle that. But if it gets to 2 to 3 to 4 years, that's where I start to get really worried. And so hopefully it'll be ending soon-ish. It should be like within the next 6 months, technically, because it's been a while already. But like I said, legal stuff like this takes a long time, so I'm not too hopeful for a year. maybe 2 years, maybe. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Once again, this tweet is in the description if you'd like to check it out for yourself. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Once we do, I'll be doing a Q&A video, so if you're interested in that, please subscribe. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. I understand. Comment down below what you guys think about this whole Nintendo versus Palworld situation and them having to update the game. You just heard all of my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you'd like to follow me on other places, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads. If you'd like to check me out on any of those social media platforms, at the Techno Jelly. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.